I walked in here prepared to record a commentary about something other than this, but I just saw this on the internet, and I thought, this other topic can wait for a second, and I'll talk about this. If you guys have been reading my Q&A, you'll know that I wrote a little post several months ago, actually, about climate change and how preposterous the whole idea is. And my observation was that the entire premise of anthropogenic global warming is that our release of CO2 into the atmosphere and CO2 is a greenhouse gas, and that is their premise is that elevated levels of CO2 in the atmosphere are causing the planet to warm. There has been no noticeable warming. There has been no noticeable sea level change. There has been nothing that is inconsistent with normal, everyday weather that has been recorded since we have been able to record things about the weather. Currently, CO2 is about 380 parts per million. There have been, now think about this very carefully, there have been almost complete global glaciation periods in the history of the planet, during which the CO2 level was at 6,000 parts per million. The temperature is not related to the CO2 level. But what we've got now is what it is essentially a religion. And I would invite you to read my post on my Q&A. I bump it all the time, and you can find it very easily. When this commentary airs, I'll make sure that it's bumped up to the top. But I want you to think about the things that I mentioned in that post, and I want you to think about what is being said about global warming in light of the facts that I present in my little post. But this, I just saw this. This is too precious to not remark upon. As this is from a website, WBUR's website, wherever WBUR is. I would imagine it's in Burlington, Vermont, or someplace like that. All right. As Major League Baseball gets back underway, a new study from Dartmouth. It's a study from Dartmouth. That's a college, right? Looks at how climate change is showing up in the game of baseball. Warm air is thinner than cold air, so when it's hot outside, a baseball can fly further. Dartmouth researchers, what they mean is Dartmouth undergraduate students, analyzed more than 100,000 major league games between 1962 and 2019 and found that about 1% of recent home runs can be linked to global warming. Can be linked to global warming. Now, how do you link something to global warming? Well, what you say is it's linked to global warming, and now you've linked it to global warming. If we don't this amazing thing, if we don't reduce greenhouse gas emissions and global temperatures continue to rise, despite the fact they haven't risen, right? If we reduce greenhouse gas emissions and global temperatures continue to rise, the researchers say that could increase to 10% of home runs by the year 2100. This actually appears in writing. I'm not making this up. This is not The Onion. This is not Babylon Bee. This is a supposedly serious news gathering organization is published this. The researchers say temperature hasn't been the most important factor in the increase in home runs. There are other changes, like differences in the construction of bats and balls and the adoption of technology to optimize a batter's hits, and strength training and anabolic steroids and all kinds of other things that are correlated with the improvement in the performance of a sport. Yet, these fucking idiots want you to believe that global warming is responsible for this. And that is because they need to reinforce the religion of global warming whenever they can do so. Every opportunity is taken. No opportunity to reinforce global warming as a religion that you will accept on faith. No opportunities missed. All right. Now, I don't know. I don't know about you, but I think that if you are a religionist, you're somebody that relies on religion for that part of your psychological comfort, that the conventional religions we already have worked just fine for thousands of years. But we have gone to war against conventional religion. And that's obviously true. But we have chosen to replace it with this. We've chosen to replace it with this. And if I tell you there's no such thing as global warming, if I tell you that CO2 is a weak greenhouse gas compared to water vapor on a planet with an atmosphere 52 miles thick, but a diameter of 8,000 miles, and a surface that is composed of 70% liquid water. Yet you are supposed to believe that carbon dioxide emissions, the stuff that makes plants grow, and the source of all of our atmospheric O2, our oxygen, the stuff we breathe from the interaction of CO2 with plants, that is now something that is a poison, a deadly poison. You have kids running around talking about carbon levels. Carbon as evil. Carbon, the fourth most abundant physical element in the universe. Carbon is a deadly poison to these people who have been subject to the religion of global warming. Now, I want you to read my little article. I want you to think about it. And I want you to tell me if you think I'm wrong and where I'm wrong. And I will look forward to your response.